and choose 2 colors and just drip water into those colors until you have a little puddle, and we're going to let it sit for a minute or 2 and soften up. I hear the orange is kind of a weird color, so I'm going to try it today. I'm doing orange and blue. You can swirl them around and mix them around. If you want, but sometimes just letting it sit works just as well. When I paint watercolors in my studio, I have 2 cups of water. I usually have one that is clean water that I use for this, to add water to colors, and the other is like a dirty water that I use to clean my brush. So my color is mixing up nicely. I've sloshed it over into my green, which is no big deal. I can clean that up later. I can also just take a paper towel and let the paper towel suck up the water without even really touching it. I'm barely touching the paint. And I'm just letting the capillary action soak up the water. All right, so the first wash that we're going to do is this upper left-hand corner, and it's called a flat wash. And I just want everybody to watch while I do this. I know it's going to be hard for some of you guys to see. But this is done with a flat board and a fully loaded brush. So my paintbrush is fully charged, and I'm just going to draw a line from one side to the next. And I'm going to go back and get more paint, come back and overlap the first line that I did, come back, get more paint. And I like to alternate sides from left to right when I'm doing a shape like this, so that I don't end up with a puddle on one side. And I just keep touching the paint, adding more. And the idea is that this will be a flat wash, meaning the color is even over the whole thing. And this is a challenge to perfect. I don't expect you guys to be able to do it, perfectly the first time, nor do I expect you to be able to do it perfectly at any point. But what I'm trying to do is give you some techniques that are traditional watercolor techniques so you can go from there with them. You'll notice that your paper is going to wrinkle a little bit. This is not the highest quality watercolor paper, but that's one of the reasons we taped it down, to try to keep it from wrinkling. And if your paper wrinkles and the color settles into puddles, feel free to sort of lift the board and rock it and roll it around to try to redistribute the color. But I wouldn't go back in and try to smooth it out with your brush, as tempting as it is, because you could end up making it worse, or you could end up lightening it.